Let's do some gardening together. We're going to harvest our potato patch that is growing in just 4 square feet of space. I had gotten some red potatoes from the grocery store that had gone bad, developing eyes, so I decided to see if I can grow some new potatoes from those, and it worked nicely. I did this by digging down a trench and then laying the potatoes with eyes facing upward and then covering them with soil. Now when you go to harvest potatoes, you want to make sure that you do it carefully. You can see here we have some first little tubers that are growing. Potatoes are delicate to harvest because you don't want to pierce the skin on them, so you want to gently dig around looking for your potatoes. If you have a pitchfork, that also works well. You want to be mindful of not only damaging your potatoes, but also be careful with ants. The ants do like to colonize next to the corners of raised beds and just in raised beds in general, so you want to be very aware of your surroundings when you're digging around in the dirt. And as you can see, I'm just continuously pulling these out. I'm trying not to disturb my corn that is growing next to there. And again, we just have a bunch of small tubers. Now with all of these plants that have not developed fully, I'm going to place them in a 5-gallon bucket to see if I can finish letting them grow, and that's purely for an experiment, so we'll see how that goes. You can see we have a nice little baby potato there, and we still have this area. In that back corner there was an ant colony, so I was glad that I did not get too close to those and was able to escape them without any bites. So as you dig down into the dirt here, you can see some of the larger ones. There's a little baby potato, and those are delicious as well. But as we dig down, that's where the bigger ones tend to be. So we're just gently removing any of the dirt, feeling around for the potatoes, and you can see we got a nice large one there. Potatoes are relatively easy to grow. I've grown them several ways, but growing them in a raised bed has been the easiest way. You can see we have some larger ones along with some baby potatoes, and this is what our harvest look like. Again, I'm going to keep those stems that have the tubers growing on them, repurpose them in a 5-gallon bucket. We'll see how that works. You want to make sure that you don't wash your potatoes until you're ready to use them, but you can gently wipe off any of the dirt before you store them. This makes it so that they stay fresh for a longer period of time instead of getting soggy. I could have probably left some of these in for longer, but I wanted to get these plants out because I want to focus on plants that I can continuously harvest from. That way I can gather more produce, not only for my family, but also to donate to my local community. Make sure you follow along on my gardening journey and learn more easy tips for how to grow your own food right from your backyard.